Okay, hello and happy Labor Day. Instead of a formal training, I'm going to just do a little discussion, a little bit of a one-way dialogue. One way, it's not a dialogue, but it's one way, is it? A little bit of a presentation on just business idea, business mindset. And I'm not a mindset coach. Disclaimer. This is not the normal content of this particular group. But the question is, are you living in fear or are you living in faith? Hope is the evidence of things things anticipated, things expected, but not yet seen. And the issue is we can hope for the wrong thing. Fear has been described as the false experiences appearing real. It's a false perception that something is going to happen. It's a false perception and acting as if that thing is real. It's acting in worry that the thing is that worst possible outcome is going to come to fruition. And the dogs are barking at the neighbors too. They're going for a walk. All right. Can't pause. If I'm shooting a video, I can just pause. So here I am live and the dogs are barking. And distracting me as much as they were distracting you. All right, so we're anticipating a future, and I'll use the same side just to keep the visuals straight. We're anticipating a future, and we can anticipate that future with fear, or we can anticipate that future with faith. It's the same experience. It's how we respond. It's the same future, it's the same unknown, but how we respond to it is the difference between fear and faith. Fear is expecting the worst possible future. Faith is expecting that the I am wants the best for us, and that leaning into that best brings opportunity for the divine, the I am, whichever spiritual term you want to use, gives opportunity for that best case to present itself. When we choose to live in fear, we are oppressed by, controlled by our anxiety. When we choose to live in faith, we are free to live the best person, to be the person that we were created to be. And I had another way I was going to talk about that, but I think that's enough for today. I see people describing, what are you anxious about? What are you fearful about? Well, there's things you can do to mitigate those concerns, because here's the other way I want to talk about that. I've asked people, as part of the process of inviting them into this group, so what are you struggling with in your business? And most of the time I get some answer. And if I can help with that struggle, that's great. If I know someone else I can refer that can help them with that struggle, that's great. I've had only a couple times where someone has said, I'm not struggling with anything. I don't believe it's true. I think that in this world we will have trials, we will have tribulations, and business is a microcosm of the human experience. There are always struggles. The difference between someone who's trying to bootstrap a brand new business, someone who's trying to bootstrap a brand new business, and someone who's in the feast or famine hamster wheel of trying to get the business to even break even, and someone who's just barely profitable, but basically they own a job, versus, and then there's stages in between, versus someone who's scaled a massive corporation and they have a massive team. There's struggles at every one of those levels. The only difference is what the scale of, there's a scale of struggle that's different, and there's what resources you have available to solve that. So when someone tells me I don't have any struggles, it's simply telling me that I don't have enough authority in their life for them to trust me with their struggles. And that's okay. It's a brand new conversation. We just barely started talking. I don't expect to have that level of trust with literally everyone I meet. But I don't believe it's a lack of struggle on their part. I believe it's a lack of willingness on their part to share their struggle with me and let me be part of the solution. Because regardless of where they are in business, I'm convinced that they have obstacles between them and where they are going. And they can live in fear regarding those obstacles, or they can live in faith regarding those obstacles. But the obstacles will exist. The trials and tribulations will exist. It's part of the nature of life, and specifically it's part of the nature of business.